What is up? It's Tom McGregor here, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're back, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 lessons that I learned after quitting alcohol 365 days ago to this very day, right? And I'm making this because I truly believe with my whole heart that it will change the trajectory of your life, because it did for me. Because before, I was drinking 2 or 3 times a week. I was completely lost. I was directionless. I was living that same cycle on repeat. Waking up, feeling clueless, going to work really mindlessly, not knowing why I was doing what I was doing. Then after work, I knew I should work out, knew I should start improving, had these big ambitions. But when it came down to it, I wouldn't do it. And then by the weekend, I'd end up going out every single solitary time, giving in to that little bitch voice that you know that we have on the inside. Right, and it truly changed my life because I'm overseas now, 40 pounds down, and now own a business. So it's truly life-changing. But these are the 5 lessons that you will go through. And number 1 is the physical transformation is absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely nuts. The first 90 days, you will make the most amount of progress that you've ever seen in your life, physically and mentally. Right, it is absolutely insane. I lost 40 pounds in the first 90 days after quitting drinking. Right, that's how insane shit can happen when you truly decide in your head that you're sick and tired of living the way that you're living. But the reason that I bring this up first is because working out gave me a sense of direction. Because when you give up drinking, you're going to go through this void, right? You're going to have a little hole, a little bit of emptiness, because that's where you normally find your fulfillment, right? We find when we go to drinking, it's because we find fulfillment within that. We like that feeling. And that's why I say set a direction with your physique by getting in shape. Replace that reward that you're not getting anymore from drinking, because it's very, very, very damn hard to sit there and not do anything when you normally would be going out and having fun and enjoying and getting fulfillment. You know, those first few hours when you do drink at the party or when you go to the pub with your mates, right? You have to feel that same reward. You have to find that same feeling from somewhere else. And that's exactly why I chose working out to do that. Because when you start to see the progression in yourself every single day, you're replacing that same reward, and you can see it come out physically and you can feel it mentally on the inside. So that is the number 1 lesson that I want to give to you, is fill that void that you're not getting anymore and do it with something positive that's going to benefit you in your life. Because when you do that, man, you're going to feel absolutely insane, right? And the number 2 is that the physical transformation, it made me realize we only drink because we want validation, right? Society has taught us that we should like the opinions of others. Constantly, we're looking for this validation from outside sources instead of from within us. And I know that sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's like constantly, if your mates are drinking, if your environment's drinking, if your friends are drinking, right? We're constantly looking for their validation because they're the people that we care about as well. So we're emotionally tied to them. And that means that we care about them and we care about their opinions about us. Right? So we're looking for their validation instead of our own. And I know you have goals and I know you have dreams in the back of your mind, right? But I know that you're also not fulfilling them in your real life, because that's how I was living, right? I was seeking validation from other people. I loved the feeling. I loved the status that came with drinking. I loved the accomplishment that it made me feel, because everyone else around me was validating me because I was so good at it, right? I could drink a lot. And we just look for this validation from other people because society has deemed it to be normal, right? And the reason I also bring this up is because think about something that you did when you were a child that you were really good at. The thing that you did with your mates growing up when you were a child, right? Whether that be sport, whether that be art, I'm not sure what the specific thing is for you, but for me it was sport, right? Drinking slowly over time replaces that, right? That thing that you do when you're alone or when you're with your friends growing up, you're pretty much just doing that and getting that same feeling, but from drinking when you get to that older stage in life, is what I realize, is because we constantly, even from when we're really young, we like the validation of friends. We like the validation from people around us. So that was the second lesson, is that you have to find validation from your internal state. And that's why I chose working out again. And that's why I preach it so fucking hard, is because that is the true thing that you know that you showed up for every single solitary day, and you start to build this momentum on top of the way that you look, right? You start to feel incredible. You start to feel absolutely insane because you're not slipping back to this old standard, right? You're not going back to the old vices. You're not going back to that old void. You've found a new sense of purpose to fill that void that you're not getting anymore, right? And that's why working out's so insanely good, is because when you start to see the physique come out in front of your very eyes, you start to have that internal validation that you're doing the work and you're making progress. And that's when everything will change. When you stop looking for external validation, you start looking at it from within yourself. That was a massive mindset shift that I had to have, was that stop looking at it from other people and look at it from within yourself. Look at it at the consistently how you're showing up for yourself. And that brings me to point number 3, is that consistency, clarity, momentum, and pride. Right? When you're consistently showing up, staying disciplined to your word, not breaking a trust with yourself, and keeping the promises within here and within your mind, it is the most fulfilling thing that you'll ever go through. None of this temporary fulfillment bullshit like drinking is, because that's all it is. Like I said, we're just trying to get validation. We're trying to fill a void that we're not getting from ourselves in our real life. That's what I came to realize, is that when you're consistently showing up for yourself, you start to get more and more clarity. And as you build momentum over the next 90 days, that should all be what it takes to get in the best shape of your life. Maybe 180, depending on your goals. But that's why getting in shape gives you such a good physical representation of the mentality that you're building on the inside. And that's why I preach it so damn much, right? You get so much clarity within your goals and what you want to achieve in life, and you're building momentum consistently. And then you start to take pride in yourself. You start to carry yourself in a better way, and it will truly, truly fucking blow your mind. Like, it's absolutely incredible, right? When you aren't going back to that void, when you start fulfilling it in your real life, when you start to see that manifest through the physique that you're building, all the mindset stuff, how you're pushing yourself and actually showing up, and it shows up in your real life, and people start to see you differently. People start to see that you're respecting yourself and that you care for yourself, right? And that's what it truly does, because my family was so proud of me, right? And your family will be proud of you as well. But the good thing about that is that you know that you don't need that validation from anyone else anymore. You know that all you need is the validation from yourself and your internal being and your internal state, and is the most mind-blowing thing ever. And that brings me to point number 4, is that you get your time, energy, and attention back. Everyone thinks that, oh, I'm giving up drinking, I'm giving up this, No, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. You're getting your time, energy, and attention back, because when you have the consistency, when you have the clarity, and when you have the momentum and the pride within yourself, that's all that trust within yourself, that you're not going back to that old void. You get your time, energy, and attention back, and then you start to understand that you can actually use that in all aspects of your life. That's why, again, I'm going to preach working out again, right? Replacing that reward with working out again is because when you realize that all it is your time, energy, and attention, you've built the discipline, you've built the consistency, then you realize you can do that in every aspect of your life. If there's anything that you want to pursue in your career, any skill sets that you want to get better at, any books you want to read, any momentum, anything that you want to do in your life, you realize that the working out gives you the skill set to be able to do that in any aspect of your life, by building discipline, by having delayed gratification, by building this momentum and consistency and trust within yourself. You realize that, holy shit, I can spend my time, energy, and attention on literally anything, and take the same principles, the same concepts from working out and apply it to something else and get the exact same result that I want. Now, this can be dangerous because you have so much time. You have all your energy back. You have, literally, you have your time, energy, and attention back. You're not going out, right? So you're not hungover. You're not spending half your time feeling like shit. And that's the thing, is when you have all this time, energy, and attention, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do in that spare time. You can build a business. And that's what it showed me. It's like, I realized, holy shit, I can help other people with their habits. I can help other people build their mindsets. I can help other people make the same transformation that I did. And that's when I started to learn about business, started to make progress in other areas of life, started working on skill sets that were going to progress me. And it's absolutely insane. Insane what it does for you mentally. You start to unlock this perception of the world, of what you can actually achieve when you get in the best shape of your life, when you give up these vices. Man, your whole worldview will change. It's insane what you can do with your life. And I mean that with my whole fucking heart. When you have your time, energy, intention, consistency, clarity, momentum, pride, all of these things, you see the physique manifesting out in front of you when you're doing the work. After you give up these vices, you will make the most mental transformation in your life, mentally, physically, and it's insane. And that brings me to point number 5, is that your dreams become a reality pretty damn fucking quickly, right? A year might seem like a long time, right? But I was drinking 2 or 3 times a week for 4 years, like I said. Within the span of a year, I gave up all other vices, porn, vaping, all these other vices that we have in our lives, like scrolling, PlayStation, all of them. I don't do any of them now. And you start to find true fulfillment in the work towards a bigger purpose in your life. You have all this time, energy, and attention back. You're consistent. You're building the trust within yourself. And these dreams that you have that you think, oh, fuck, I couldn't do that like he can. I couldn't do that like all these big millionaires that you see scrolling on your phone. It's bullshit, man. You start to believe that you can because you trust yourself from your internal state, from your internal being. And it all stems from giving up the vices, because you get so much back. You get everything back that you lose, right? You probably lose 2 or 3 days a week without even realizing it when you're drinking, right? You lose so much time, energy, and attention in your mind when you're drinking, when you're going out, doing all these sorts of things. And when you get that back, your dreams become a reality pretty fucking quickly. Because like I said, I lost the 40 pounds in 3 months. 4 months after that, I moved overseas after sleeping on mum's couch. Why? I did that because I believed in my dream, because of what working out did for me, and because what getting my time, energy, and attention back taught me. Having the trust in myself taught me. Why? I slept on her couch so I could save money, so I could come over here, so I could start this business and help other people transform their lives and make the same transformation that I did. Man, it's the most incredible experience that you'll ever goddamn go through when you know that you're doing the work, when you know that you've got your time, energy, and attention back. You're building the physique right in front of your very eyes. You're not going back to these old voids. You're not going back to these old vices. You're starting to change your internal state. You're starting to see the world from a completely different reality. And your dreams that you think are just dreams, they actually start to manifest in your real life, because you start to take the actions, because you start to believe that it really is possible. And that's the most insane thing of it all, is that when you have all of it back, when you have everything back, your time, your energy, your attention, you're consistent, you have the trust in yourself. When you get all of that back, you have the physique right in front of your very eyes that proves that to you. Every time you look in the mirror, you believe anything starts to be possible, and your dreams start to become a true reality, man. I believe it with my whole fucking heart that you deserve to be in the best shape of your life. I believe it with my whole fucking heart that you deserve to see the physique of your dreams. I believe with my whole heart that you don't need these vices, these voids that you keep telling yourself that you need in your life, like I used to do as well. I don't need them. You don't need them. What we need is to find true purpose, find true fulfillment in our lives, and bring our dreams to a reality by getting in the best shape of your life. And that's what it does. Then it manifests to every single solitary thing in your life. Your relationships, your work. You feel more energized. You're eating good. You're eating clean. The trust within yourself, man. I believe it with my whole damn fucking heart that working out and giving up these vices that you keep telling yourself that you need will change your life. Because that's what it did for me. That's what it did. But it's not about me anymore. I make these videos for you to change your life, to transform your life. Man, there's a version of you that you know that you can become, and working out is the gateway to get there. I promise you. And those are the top 5 lessons that I learned. You're going to go through an insane physical transformation. And that's going to make you realize that you only wanted validation from other people. But that's going to make you realize you need internal validation. You're going to have so much consistency, so much clarity, so much momentum, so much pride. All your time, energy, and attention back to work on the things that you actually want to accomplish in your life, not the bullshit that everyone else wants you to accomplish. Then your dreams, good timing, then your dreams become a reality pretty damn fucking quickly. But if you're struggling to build good habits and give up these vices and give up drinking, and you want to get in the best shape of your life, you want to make that mental and physical transformation just like I just did. If you want to do the exact same thing and you need help, click the link below. But I truly hope that you enjoyed this video with my whole heart. My whole heart. I believe you have it in you. I believe you want more. Thank you for watching.